for starting us off, Rick, and that's pretty much straight to the point. One of my best friends growing up, Jerry Fry, junior high school buddy.
Good morning, Washington. It's the 19th of April, 2011. We're listening to the awful Chris Plant here.
Every night, and this gas price thing and the gas price thing alone just kills guys like this. I mean, it's such a huge piece of the pie for you. Your fuel prices, and when you double the fuel prices...
Guy says the same thing every day. Gets on the air and says the same exact thing every day. Blabber, 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 blah. Hey, listen, you want to hear a cool WMAL memory back in the glory days of the station? Listen to this.
Is a river turned to flame, and the bloom of cherry blossoms is like nothing you can name. That's why we like to be in Washington, D.C.
There's an endless stream of faces that have come from everywhere. There's a deep, abiding purpose, and it lingers in the air.
That's why we like to be in Washington, D.C. The wooded hills around us and the rush along the mall. The quiet walk down three green streets where evening starts to fall. In memorials of marble and in monuments of stone, there's a constant shining spirit of the greatness we have known. That's why we like to be in Washington, D.C. WMAL, Washington.
Oh, wasn't that sweet? From the Grand DCR-TV archive there. That's the WMAL anthem. As they call it, WMAL anthem vocal. Don't have a date on that, but it's a while ago. How you doing, everybody? What's the big news today? The big news today is that Tommy Griffiths, who's the new morning man at WBIG, Classic Hits, Classic Rock, whatever you call it, 100.3, he's going to be emceeing, moderating, co-hosting, whatever you want to call it, Charlie Sheen's appearance at DAR Constitution Hall tonight, Tuesday, the 19th of April. So that'll be interesting to see how Tommy does. Tommy's also heard down in, he's a long-time Norfolk radio personality, and his show is also heard down there on the Clear Channel Oldies station down in the Norfolk area. I forget the station right now, but all those Norfolk stations are always changing call letters, and I can never remember what they are. But he's doing actually pretty good. WBIG gets pretty good ratings. They're kind of locked in a battle there with 105.9 The Edge, the Sludge, there but anyhow, they're doing pretty good. Couple of interesting things. There was an interesting show on the National Geographic Channel, DC-based National Geographic Channel last Sunday. Came on at 9 o'clock, and it was just basically a lot of video shot during the recent March 11th earthquake and tsunami in Japan. Just a lot of videos shot, by ordinary citizens in office buildings with everything shaking and out on the seaside towns with the water coming in. And it was really a powerful show. It was an hour long, and what I'd like to say is when cable networks do something like that, when they show a really intensely life and death kind of program like that, it might be a little bit good to maybe cut back the commercial load. Here's what ruined the show for me, okay? I'm watching it. National Geographic has this habit of not putting in even the slightest little break in between the end of a segment and a commercial. So it looks like the commercial is literally welded to the end of the commercial, the end of the show break. So you're watching this document, you're watching this video of this wave coming over and bodies and cars being swept around and people screaming, and then without the slightest gap, not even a fade to black for half a second, a commercial comes on. Blah! You know, and it literally looked like the commercial was part of the video. And I gotta say, that really, really, really sucked. You know, it ruined the show. You know, it might have been a good thing maybe when you're showing something that intense, like a 9/11 documentary or something on this. Maybe don't even run commercials, or maybe run the whole show and then put the commercials in afterward. Or at the very least, go to black, hold it there for a minute or for a couple seconds, and then go to commercial. Put a break in. But the cheap, shitty way National Geographic Channel handled that show, I don't know. I haven't seen anybody else complain about it, but it really bugged me. It was a good show. It was well done. But the way they jammed those commercials in right there with the video of real tragedy, was real. It really stunk, I thought. You know, I'm telling you, I'm getting really frustrated with cable TV. You pay through the nose, higher rates. Comcast has raised its rates again. You're paying through the nose, and then you get these channels that are recycled shows over and over, endless repeats of shows jammed with commercials. You know, I mean, you're paying through the nose for this service that's just shoving commercials down your throat. I'm telling you, people are going to start canceling their cable or cutting back. I'm telling you, it's getting really kooky out there. Now, you know, I'm a media dude, and I run a media biz, so I could actually write off some of that expenses, you know, because I need that service for my business. So in a weird way, you know, I can write it off. But it really, you're saying to yourself, man, how many times now have you gotten up at like 3 a.m. and you go through all these channels? There's nothing to watch. Hundreds of channels. Interesting thing, I did see something on Turner Classic Movies Sunday night. I woke up at Sunday night early Monday morning about 3 a.m. and there was a movie called Jean Dielman, 23 Quai du Commerce, 18... I can't even remember. It's a French movie, okay? This is a French movie. It was on Turner Classic Movies. Bruce Willis there. Turner Classic Movies at 2 a.m. And basically, it was a 4.5-hour movie of this middle-aged woman in her apartment. You know, cooking meals for her son, her teenage son, vacuuming, you know, cleaning, whatever. And then occasionally she has an affair. Some guy comes in and she has this lifeless affair with some man. But it's just, and she goes out shopping, and she goes walking down the street, and she goes to the grocery store. But it's just literally 4.5 hours of her day-to-day life. And I'll tell you, I got up at, you know, I said, this is fascinatingly weird. And I got up and actually hit the record button on my DVR, and I went back to bed about 3:30 and then watched it yesterday, what I had of it. I had about 2.5 hours of the 4 hours. And it was fascinatingly weird. I'll tell you, it's 1975 French movie. And it just suddenly ends, black screen. And it is the saddest thing I think I've ever seen. It's just this poor woman with absolutely no joy in her life. And if you see it, I know it's on Criterion. It's a Criterion DVD, and it's like $40 fucking. But if you do catch this movie sometime, really, it's really worth watching. It is one of the wackiest movies you've ever seen, and it is incredibly powerful. 4.5 hours of just this woman literally just doing trivial things. Whoa! What else is going on today? Any more big news on the circuit out there? William Donald Shaefer dies. Good old governor of Maryland, mayor of Baltimore, media savvy guy. Baltimore Sun reports, I forget this, but in 1981 he donned the 1980s bathing suit and waded into the seal pool of the National Aquarium in Baltimore to atone for the city's failure to open the tourist attraction on schedule. Crazy guy, but a good character, and somebody that really lightened up the scene there. William Donald Shaefer passed away yesterday at the age of 89. Donna Penyak has apparently passed away too. She was almost 59. She, if you'll remember, in the 1970s, she did the news on the old WRC AM 980. And then she was Donnie Simpson's sidekick, a news lady, when his early show there on the morning show on WKYS back when he first came to town, back in, I guess, the early 80s or late 70s. She was his sidekick. I remember her name. I remember hearing her on the station, but this was in the 70s, back when I guess we were doing that kind of disco-y format. And she also worked at WFMD. She apparently had a heart attack, cardiac arrest in Rockville on Sunday. We'll have more on her on the DCRTV.com. Okay, folks. Oh, by the way, if you're around a radio, every other Tuesday, including today, 1370 in Baltimore, I do a little guest shot with Stan the Fan Charles on his hour-long noon show, about 12:40-ish, every other Tuesday, including today, 1370 Fox, 1370 WVIE Sports Radio. We talk about a lot of media issues involving Baltimore. So, be there! Aloha! Okay, folks, thanks a lot for watching, and don't forget to stay tuned. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Don't forget to stay tuned.